Alright folks, it's a new day. We're out here exploring again. We're at the other side of these viaducts that featured in a video last week, but I'm waiting to walk over the top of it because there's a cool couple little abandoned nuggets that I didn't record last time I walked past. So it is very windy today. I need to keep that sun out of the lens there. It is very windy today, and it looks like somebody is away to abseil down off the great big viaduct here, so we'll have a look when we go past. So this is the main road, Montrose to St Cyrus behind me here. The steam trains used to come along from the Montrose direction, head north on this line. And this is the bit where the footpath goes up onto the old train line. Over behind me here up the coast, that's St Cyrus Beach, is just round that corner. It's about to get really windy here once I get out onto the viaduct. I've not walked across this viaduct for ages, so it'll be cool to see it again. But the wind isn't so good. So that gentleman I just spoke to there, he's abseiling off the top of this thing. That's his rope. He's over there doing something, I'm not sure what, but shout out to you if that was you abseiling off that bridge. You wouldn't catch me swinging down that rope, I didn't think. So this is now the top of the viaduct. Extremely windy. That's the older viaduct over there, which is the main road. I briefly spoke about it in last week's video, but this was totally foggy here last week. So it's some height. It's definitely an engineering feat. So this is where I climbed up last week when it was really foggy. We walked from Montrose all the way around here, but I walked past a little historical nugget that I should have videoed, so I'm going back to have a look at it now while I've got time. Right now I'm coming down the steep slope beside the viaduct. It's quite slippy. So you can see a lot more of it this weekend when it's not foggy. British engineering at its best. When I was standing up roughly about that area, I thought it looked like it was sagging slightly, and now I'm standing here, you can actually see all the bricks aren't even repointed at this side, and it doesn't look right at this area here. There's gaps between the bricks and stuff. So actually I believe that it is starting to go at that bit of needing attention. If it falls down, you saw it here first. I can see the abseiling guy over there sorting out his ropes again. He must be going for another descent soon. So this is where these little historical artefacts are sitting. If you remember back a few weeks ago to my coast mission, when I was at Bodden I looked at the wooden boats and they were all marked Montrose, and then the boat name. This is the sister boats here, so to speak. the sister vessels of that ship. They lie here abandoned in the long grass, just like the ones at Baden, but these ones are here between Montrose and St Cyrus here. So these boats may have been from a fleet of fishing boats from the same company, or it may be that this Montrose boat maker maybe always marks his boats like this. Also alongside here we've got Dragon's Teeth from the war dotted along there. That's because this is the edge of the Montrose military area. That is also a fishing related artefact for, I believe it was for winching the fishing boats up out of the water. So these Dragon's Teeth run for about a mile. I'm sure there was a time lapse of them in a previous video a couple of weeks ago there, because I was further along there a few weeks ago doing a video. This whole area from here basically up to the Montrose Air Base, the Montrose airfield, it was all military and military training in both wars, and that's where the shooting range and that is located too. This would have been us crossing the line into the area now. That little housey might have been part of it as well. But that's as far as I'm going along that way today, so we'll go back and see what else we can find. These boats would have been busy at one time, so there was so much, wasn't such big time fishing back then. It was all smaller local fishermen, and they would have been proud of their boat. That would have been a big boat of its day. This one's definitely in worse condition than that other one. It's under repair. I don't think that would have been a seaworthy repair there, so. So at this big viaduct here, you can see marks in the stones, which I think used to be in all the stones when they were rough cut for lifting them with the big caliper things. I mentioned it in another video before at a different bridge, but you can see it here on these bricks. This is a dangerous little bit at the corner here. That stone tells you about when the thing was built. The work was complete there in 1770, which is totally crazy. 1770, you'd have been able to go over there with your horse and cart. And now there's big Arctic lorries and everything going over it, and machines that they couldn't have dreamt about in those days. But yeah, it's the same bricks they laid. It just shows you how over-engineered it was for its era. So those steps take us back up. We're in there, up to here, onto this, back onto the viaduct. The abseiling guy, he's leaning over the side right now. He's going for it. Live abseiling. BKR. The boys just disappeared over the side anyway, so because of the curve of the bridge I can't even lean over and see them yet, like, but mental, eh? Takes a lot of nerve to do that. So those wind gusts are crazy. The boys made it safely down again, so we're alright. This is his rope. So I'm waiting to walk across the main road, the Montrose St Cyrus road here, because there's a wee abandoned house at the other side of it, and I'm thinking, while I'm here, I might as well just go in for a wee look. Like, it's just walls by the looks of things with some bushes, but let's get into it. So there it is, folks, a little abandoned house, overgrown. Right behind this step goes sign. That's the old viaduct behind me. That's how I've always noticed this little house here, so I thought I'll just put it on a video. Totally overgrown, so there's no point in going through the boy's fence. He's obviously put up a good fence so that people didn't go in there, so I'm not going to breach that. So I'm walking down beside this old viaduct now for a closer look. You can see the shape of it for the strength. That's how it's so strong even after all these years. It curves out so it's wider at the bottom. Must be one of the old drainage pipes. Here's another one. Maybe it's because it had all that it stood for so long. If that's airing out the fins, or the foundations as you'd call it. Dead crow there. There's so many of these holes into here. And some of them further along here have actually got little stone spooks on them. Here's some new strengthening work on here. Just bolted that together. They must have drilled that right through. Here's a new cement support as well. Yeah, so they've drilled right through and put those threaded rods through to hold it. This side here has got a lot more wear and tear. A lot more weather damage. Two crows just came out of that drain up there. Yeah, so I've never been round this side of it for a look, so I'll just continue down here for a quick little explore. Here we go, folks. BKR has just found a little hidey hole. This is incredible. I wonder what this was for originally. Underneath the bridge here there's a little hidey hole. It'd be pretty cool. You can see the malting place over there and on the horizon there. Looks very industrial. Yeah, so I don't know. I wonder if maybe there was maintenance equipment for the bridge stored in there at one time. See, if that's had a wooden door or something on it, like, it would totally be gone by now. Here's another one. Maybe what this is, all those drains from the road maybe lead down to this bottom holes. And maybe it's designed so that the water flows out these big holes, and somebody would have at one time come and shoveled this out, so there'd have been a lot of silt, like what there is. almost like being inside a pyramid. All those little holes leading into places you don't know. Look at this stone, it's worn differently to all others. It does look like sandstone, but it looks light. It's so fragile, that stone now. So there's two little hidey holes we didn't know about. More of those little old drains up there. Look at the erosion of these stones. It's crazy. So much wind coming through this hole. I won't be able to get back through because it's all fenced off now. So yeah, that was cool seeing the far side of this bridge. This is such a great example of British engineering when you see something this size that stood from the 1700s. Look at the size of this lintel stone all the way to here. Huge. Here's something metal. Maybe a piece of farm equipment or something. The lintel on this one's not as big as the other one. Old heavy metal pin. Here's something else as well, don't know what this is from. It's part of something at one time. See, maybe like these stones here. Maybe they've been part of the bridge at one time and they've been left there when they've restored it and they've replaced them. But you can see if this is original brick, it's been cut. They might have used part of these bricks, I'm thinking now, to do the repair. Because you can see the circular saw marks. And it looks to me like a still saw rather than whatever they used back in the day. These bottom cement repairs must be a lot older because look, there's a bolt mechanism there. And that is bracing the foundations as well. So here's more of those openings down here as well. I think that must be what it is. All those drains, the silt must go down and come out into these bits. And then the council or roadmen of their era, they would have come along and shoveled it out, thrown it into the field there. Epic stonework. Proper Scottish history there. The amount of vehicles that's helped to get over the river, the pair of these bridges, it's amazing. But we'll head on to the next place now.